Welcome to Mooloolaba. My name is Chris Price and I'm the race director for IRONMAN 70.3 Sunshine Coast. The following video briefing complements the details in the Athlete Information Guide, which you should all be familiar with, and if not, a copy is available on the event website or at the information booth. During the race, please practice common sense, courtesy and good sportsmanship at all times to ensure that you and your fellow competitors have a safe and enjoyable race. Good luck to all athletes chasing qualification in next year's IRONMAN 70.3 World Championships to be held here in September. And please, all of you, take care and we look forward to seeing you at the finish line.
Welcome to the 2015 IRONMAN 70.3 Sunshine Coast Athlete Race Briefing. Further to this race briefing, athletes are required to read the Athlete Information Guide, which contains additional information to ensure you have a great day. This is available online to view and print at www.ironmansunshinecoast.com. If you have any further questions following this briefing, please see the team located at the information booth on Beach Terrace, Mooloolaba. Please make sure you've taken the time to check your athlete race kit for all items you'll need this weekend, including your swim cap, race number and category tattoos, helmet sticker, bike seat post sticker, race bib, and most importantly, your athlete wristband. Your athlete wristband is your form of ID, which you'll need to wear across the whole event. It will provide access into athlete-only areas. Bike check-in is held on Saturday between 10:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. This takes place at Transition on Brisbane Road. If you require bike mechanic services, they'll be located at the entry to Transition. Make sure you've attached your bike sticker prior to arriving to Transition. You'll have your bike inspected by technical officials to ensure it meets safety standards. The bike racks are individually numbered. Please ensure that you rack your bike at your assigned position. No bike bags or covers are allowed on your bikes overnight. These will be removed as they are a danger in high winds to neighbouring bikes. Your helmet check will be done as you enter Transition on race morning. To save time, please wear your helmet as you walk into Transition. It will be inspected by Triathlon Australia officials to ensure it meets Australian safety standards. Please make sure you are aware of the flow of Transition. There will be 2 Transition tours held on Saturday, which will help with any questions you have. Transition tours will be held at 11:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. Transition will be open from 4:45 a.m. At closure of Transition, all team cyclists must exit the Transition area. The team's Transition will reopen at the discretion of the Transition manager after the elite athletes have departed for the cycle. Team cyclists will then wait with their bike. Once the team swimmer passes them the timing chip, they can take their bike off the rack and continue out of Transition. As the team cyclist re-enters Transition, they must rack their own bike individually before passing the timing chip to the team runner. Bike mechanics will be located at the bike exit entry arch and will have resources for emergency services only. Transition closes at 5:40 a.m. and the rolling start will commence at 6:03 a.m. You'll be able to bring in your bike pump on race morning, however you must take this with you when you exit. Pumps will be stored separately to bags in the gear tent, so please ensure they are adequately labelled. Your gear bag will need to be handed in to the gear tent located in the recovery area on Mooloolaba Esplanade. The gear tent will be open from 4:45 a.m. to 3 p.m. Please ensure your bag is labelled with the numbered gear tent sticker found in your race kit. The swim course is 1.9 kilometres. Athletes will be required to complete a 1-lap swim, which starts and finishes in front of the Loo with a View on the spectacular Mooloolaba Beach. The course travels in an anti-clockwise direction, and the fortunate ones will ride a nice wave into Transition. It will take approximately 5 minutes to walk from Transition to swim start. Please ensure you allow time for this. If the water temperature is not greater than 24.5 degrees Celsius, wetsuits are optional. Please inquire at the information desks if you're unsure of the provisional water temperature. Athletes will be able to warm up on the southern side of the swim start. This is the side to the right if you're looking at the water. The swim start will begin at 5:55 a.m. Athletes are required to self-seed themselves into start zones located on the beach. There'll be 4 different start zones to choose from depending on an athlete's expected swim time. The zones are as follows. Zone 1, under 30 minutes. Zone 2, 30 to 35 minutes. Zone 3, 35 to 45 minutes. And Zone 4, 45 to 60 minutes. Once the rolling start has commenced, athletes will be released in groups of approximately half a dozen at a time at intervals over the start line and timing mat. As an individual crosses the start line and timing mat, their individual time will start. The rolling start will continue from Zone 1 to Zone 4 until all athletes have crossed the timing mat and begun the race. If for any reason the swim needs to be cancelled after the swim start, you'll hear a continuous whistle. If this occurs, do not panic. Please take all directions from water safety personnel and make your way to the shore. If you decide to withdraw at any time after you've crossed the start mats, you must notify an event official so we can account for your safety. Swim safety is provided by Surf Lifesaving Queensland. If at any time you need assistance, raise one arm above your head. Please look out for those around you and raise your arm if you see another athlete in distress. The time limit for the swim leg is 1 hour. Any athlete who does not complete the course by this cut-off time will not be able to continue. Any team cyclist remaining in transition will be sent out onto the bike course at this time, and the team will be classified as a DNF or did not finish. The bike course is a 90-kilometre 2-lap course. Cyclists exit transition from Brisbane Road and head out onto the Sunshine Motorway via Mooloolaba Esplanade and Buderim Avenue. The first bike lap is 50 kilometres and will turn just prior to the Peregian Springs roundabout before returning to Mooloolaba. The second bike lap is 40 kilometres and remains unchanged, with the exception that the turn is just prior to the Coolam Yandina Road roundabout. The road has been recently resurfaced, contributing to a slick and fast time. Athletes will take in a charming view of Mount Coolam along the way. Please be aware that while there are road closures in place, there may be event and emergency vehicles on the course. There will be roaming bike mechanics on course, as well as a mechanic set up in transition for pre-race services. Mechanics will carry tools and spare tubes only. They will not have spare wheels available. Athletes must repair their own bike. Prompt service should not be expected, and athletes are advised to carry their own spares and be familiar with fixing or replacing tyres and tubes. For more information, please speak to the bike mechanic at transition on Saturday. SAG wagons will be roaming the course to collect any cyclists that cannot complete the event. Collected cyclists will be transported to the closest aid station or back to transition. Please be advised there may be delays in SAG wagon transport. It is advisable for athletes to commence walking back to their nearest aid station. Competitors have access to aid stations on the bike course located approximately 30 kilometres apart. These aid stations will offer water, Endura electrolyte, Winners bars and gels, bananas, Vaseline situated in the toilets, sunscreen, insect repellent, toilets. This is the sequence of the bike aid stations. Volunteers will endeavour to provide approximately 50 metres between tables or service areas. Slow down through bike aid stations, maintain a straight line and consistent speed. Communicate loud and clearly. Volunteers are there to support you, not serve you. Litter zone start and litter zone finish signs are provided to define the rubbish and bed and discard zone. Littering outside of this zone will result in athletes being penalised. Roads cannot be reopened until the course is clear of all rubbish, so please help by sticking to the rules and discarding only within these areas. Remain focused and considerate at all times through the aid stations. The safety of yourself, other athletes and volunteers should be your priority. Our volunteers will do their best to deliver what you require, but it's your responsibility to slow down and ensure you have the correct nutrition. Bike regulations apply to this section of the course. Always ride as far to the left as possible. Always pass on the right. Always move left after a pass. Do not block other athletes' progress. Do not ride side by side. Never cross the centre line. Do not litter. Never ride with MP3 players, phones, cameras, or other personal electronic devices that may cause distractions. And please use the toilets provided. This is a non-drafting event, meaning unless overtaking, 12 metres must be kept between you and the bike in front of you at all times. When passing, you must complete your pass within 25 seconds. Be making forward progress at all times. A started pass must be completed. After being passed, drop 12 metres back. You cannot pass until you are 12 metres back. If you do receive a penalty, the officials will show you a yellow, blue or red card, tell you to stop at the next penalty box if applicable, note your athlete number and other information. The blue card is a new introduction this year and will result in a 5-minute time penalty. Drafting penalties will now incur this card. There are 2 penalty boxes on course, located at Coolum Yandina Roundabout and Budrum Avenue off-ramp. The time limit for the bike leg is 4 hours 30 minutes from your swim start time. Any cyclist unable to reach this cutoff will be collected by the event sag wagons. Any remaining team runners in transition will be sent out onto the run course at this time, and the team will be classified as a DNF or did not finish. The run course is a 21.1 kilometre 2-lap course. Runners will exit transition and head north onto the iconic Mooloolaba Esplanade. After heading over the scenic Alexandra Headland Hill, athletes will continue to Cotton Tree via 6th Avenue and Alexandra Parade. Athletes will follow the same route for the second lap along striking shores at a spectator-lined course before finishing in the heart of Mooloolaba. Athletes will receive a lap band before starting the second lap. It is the athlete's responsibility to ensure they've received the white wristband in order to proceed down the finish chute. The run course will have distance markers every 2 kilometres, as well as traffic cones and volunteers at key decision-making points. There'll be 1 roaming sag wagon to collect any runners that cannot complete the course. Collected runners will be transported back to the recovery area. Please be advised there may be delays in sag wagon transport. It is advisable for athletes to commence walking back to their nearest aid station. There are 12 aid stations on the run course located within 2 kilometres of each other. These aid stations will offer water, Endura electrolyte, degas cola, Winners bars and gels, bananas, Vaseline situated in the toilets, ice, sunscreen, insect repellents and toilets. This is the sequence of the run aid stations. Wherever possible, volunteers will provide a minimum of 10 metres between tables. However, due to the lay of the land, sometimes table layouts may vary across the course. The sequence of offerings, however, will remain the same. Please note there are at least 2 toilets at every aid station. Unfortunately, again, due to the lay of the land, toilets cannot be consistently placed at all stations. Please ask volunteers and follow signage if in need. Please endeavour to place rubbish in the bins provided. We want to return the city to the locals as we found it. It's with their blessing we're provided access to this great course. Don't forget to thank the volunteers. Please be focused and considerate at all times through the aid stations. The safety of yourself, other athletes and volunteers should be your priority. Our volunteers will do their best to deliver what you require, but it's your responsibility to slow down and ensure you have the correct nutrition. Run course regulations apply to this section of the course. You must complete 2 laps. There will be timing checkpoints on course validating this. Absolutely no outside assistance. No iPods, thumps, headphones, cell phones or cameras. Keep your torso covered. You must have your run number visible on the front. No littering. And please use the toilets provided. Urinating on course may result in disqualification. If an athlete is shown a yellow card, they may be directed by the technical official to perform a stop-start penalty. 3 infringements equals disqualification. The blue card is a new introduction this year and will result in a 5-minute time penalty. If you receive a red card from a technical official, you must report to the race referee once you've completed your race. The run course cutoff time is 7 hours 30 minutes from when you cross the timing mat during the rolling start. The race is conducted under the Triathlon Australia Race Competition Rules, or RCR, and a number of special Ironman rules. Please refer to the Athlete Information Guide on the event website for more information. If you have queries, please speak with one of the Triathlon Australia technical officials. An experienced medical team will be in place at the event, with medical personnel positions at the swim, start and exit, in transition, roaming on the cycle and run courses, as well as a full medical tent setup and team at the finish line. There will be ambulances strategically located within venue and on course at all times. During the race, please ensure you look after yourself and your fellow athletes. If in doubt, ask for help from an event official or volunteer on course. Please make sure you provided the staff a check-in with your most up-to-date medical and emergency contact information. The medical team can assist with rehydration, warming or cooling and other basic care. Any athletes requiring further treatment will be transported to the Nambour Hospital. If you find yourself in this situation, your gear will be cared for until you return. Please inquire at the information tent when you do return. To help out the medical team, please make sure you are taking appropriate care of yourself. If you have an acute illness, modify your expectations and allow for a bad day. Above all, don't change what you've been doing. Pre-race and public first aid is available at the information booth. Completing an Ironman 70.3 is a very special experience. Crossing the finish line is the pinnacle. Here's a hot tip: make yourself photo ready. In the interest of safety and in accordance with Ironman rules, family or friends are not permitted in the finish chute. Please let your loved ones know of this rule, or you'll be disqualified if this rule is not adhered to. This rule is enforced to reduce the risk of an athlete unintentionally harming themselves, other athletes, or their loved ones. It's also important to respect other finishers and their experience. Ironman hopes everybody makes the most of their time in the spotlight. There'll be a team's holding area to allow the team swimmer and cyclist to cross the finish line with their runner. Please ensure if you're a team swimmer or cyclist, you're at this holding pen located at the entry to the finish chute in plenty of time before your runner comes in. Once you cross the finish line, you'll be presented with your finisher's medal, towel and shirt. Volunteers will be available to take you to medical if required. The recovery aid station will offer drinks and fruit. Massage therapists will also be available. Gear bags will be available for collection. Event staff and volunteers are within the post-finish area. Please advise if you require assistance. Bikes will be available for collection after the final athlete has completed the cycle leg. An announcement will be made when this is available, approximately 11:30 a.m. Athletes' wristbands must be shown to retrieve bikes from transition. Please do not attempt to remove your bike prior to this time. All bikes must be collected from transition by 2:30 p.m. All prizes will be presented at the Mooloolaba Surf Lifesaving Club at the Ironman 70.3 Sunshine Coast presentations Sunday afternoon commencing at 2 p.m. The roll-down ceremony for the 2016 Ironman 70.3 World Championships, to be held on the 4th of September right here on the Sunshine Coast, will take place immediately following the presentations at approximately 2:45. There are 50 qualifying slots on offer and you must be present to claim your slot. Good luck on Sunday. We look forward to celebrating with you at the finish line.